ballot. So it's possible the president picks up some votes in some places. We'll see. Are those Trump voters who voted by mail? Are they Democrats in Republican places who voted by mail? Well, no, more. Pennsylvania is moving these ballots too, the mail-in ballots. So it's possible the president picks up some votes in some places. We'll see. Are those Trump voters who voted by mail? Are they Democrats in Republican places who voted by mail? Well, no, more. Pennsylvania is moving through this, but you got to do more in Allegheny County as well. So you look at the big number, now down to 403,000. It's moving. They're counting votes even during this conversation. 403. Our math is that Joe Biden in the ballpark has to win about 2/3 of what's left to be counted. We'll see. We'll know a lot more. They're doing it. They're trying to move fast in Pennsylvania.
They think there may be 1 million votes still outstanding,
Yeah.
And so they're looking very closely at that. We'll see what happens in Pennsylvania. Jake, back to you.
All right. On the subject of Pennsylvania, let's talk now with Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro. General Shapiro, thanks for joining us. President Trump leads by almost 500,000 votes in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. When do you expect to have all the votes in Pennsylvania counted, and how many ballots remain outstanding and uncounted as of now?
Yeah, Jake, as to your first question, all the ballots won't be counted until, past Friday. The reason for that is ballots, provided they were postmarked by Election Day, can be received up until Friday at 5 p.m. So we know for sure that we're going to have to wait until then. Then, of course, we want to make sure all the military ballots, provisionals, what have you, are counted. So it's going to take a few more days. But, as John King indicated in his report just a moment ago, you can see the numbers changing. You can see the clerks in our communities doing their jobs, and they are working around the clock to count these ballots. Because at the end of the day, Jake, we want to make sure we have an accurate count. We want to make sure we follow the law and ultimately respect the will of the people. And that's what these folks are doing right now in communities all across Pennsylvania.
I believe that the townships and counties throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are segregating the ballots that arrive after Election Day, just in case there is a lawsuit about them. How many, so let's just for the sake of conversation exclude them. I understand that you're not excluding them, but for the sake of conversation, how many ballots that arrived by Election Day remain uncounted as of now?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, you asked me that a moment ago, Jake. Look, that's a number that the Secretary of State can provide. I don't want to, go into that territory and give a number that's not accurate. The Secretary said earlier today that the number was in excess of 1 million. Again, I'll leave it to her to clarify and indicate what the exact number is. But I do want to come back to the point you made a moment ago. Those ballots that are being segregated, the directive is to segregate and count those ballots. It has been reviewed by our state Supreme Court and said that they are valid, eligible votes. They ought to be counted. And twice, Republicans have taken that issue up to SCOTUS, up to the United States Supreme Court, and asked them to intervene and stop the counting of those ballots. And twice they refused to intervene. State law governs on this, Jake, and the state Supreme Court indicated that ballots postmarked by Election Day, received by Friday, should be counted.
So just in the last few minutes, the Trump campaign released a statement that they are planning to quote, let's move the teleprompter up there a second so I can read the quote. They are planning to quote, suing to temporarily halt counting, this is their words, until there is meaningful transparency and Republicans can ensure all counting is done above board and by law. Do you have a reaction?
Look, I think that's probably more of a political document than a legal document. There is transparency in this process. The counting has been going on. There are observers observing this counting, and the counting will continue. I recognize that right now the campaign wants to spin. They want to say whatever they're going to say. But Jake, here's the deal. The campaign is over. The candidates made their case. And now under the laws of this Commonwealth, the votes have to be counted. And that's the process that's going on right now. And we will not let anything interrupt that process of counting. We're going to follow the law. We're going to count the votes. And we're going to certify a winner based on the will of the people.
Excluding smaller ideas, smaller issues like signs being posted too close to a voting center and that sort of thing, have there been any irregularities in voting?
No, we said leading up to Election Day that it was our job in the Office of Attorney General to make sure that we secure, protect, and count the vote. There was a lot of litigation, as you know, leading up to Election Day. We were successful in defending the rights of Pennsylvanians to vote. And then, of course, we were planning on litigation on Election Day. And there were a few minor, what I would call more localized issues that came up and were mostly addressed. And now, apparently, I guess, according to this press release, they're contemplating some other legal action. I want to assure the people of Pennsylvania, indeed, people all across America who are looking to Pennsylvania for answers right now, that we will count all legal eligible votes. We will make sure that they are tallied up. We'll make sure that the will of the people is respected.
Josh, in addition to being the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, you're also a Democrat, and you are also up for re-election on the ballot. You tweeted a week ago that, quote, if all the votes are added up in Pennsylvania, Trump is going to lose, unquote. Do you still believe that? And do you understand why some folks expressed concern that hurt your credibility as a law enforcement official of Pennsylvania?
Yeah, look, Jake, that was a political statement made during a political campaign. What I have proven time and time again is that I will protect the rights of all Pennsylvanians. You know, no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love, who you pray to, or who you vote for. And I've said many times that we are going to respect the will of the people of Pennsylvania, whomever they choose. Right now, we have to let this process play out. We have to make sure that the clerks in our communities, the volunteers and the county officials are given the opportunity to do their job, to count these votes. Understand, Jake, these were individuals who 2-3 weeks ago, maybe because they were afraid of COVID or because they had disability or because they wanted to vote from the comfort of their own home, cast their ballots. These are legal, eligible votes, and we need to make sure they are counted. And as the Attorney General, I'm going to continue to make sure that all of these ballots are counted, no matter who